Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back.
We're back.
I'm Crystal.
And I'm Alisa.
And we are
That's right.
your favorite sister podcast. Hello. We can talk about some sister stuff today. So this is good. Favorite sister podcast is perfect.
Yes, I think for this. Yes,
what are we going to talk about today?
Yes.
You know, we got to jump in. We got 7 minutes. These people's attention span. So some of them not watching past 7 minutes.
All right, cool. Today we talking about baby mama drama.
Baby mama drama.
Baby mama drama.
And honestly, baby daddy drama.
Might as well add them in there
Just
too.
add them in because people really be trying to act like men are not a problem. Whole time
they are.
A whole time they're a problem. The problem. Honestly, the problem. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Ooh, do you tell me this? You a baby mama?
I am a baby mama. I'm a baby mama, and I did not ever think that I would be a baby mama. I did not. I thought I would be married forever.
Oh,
yeah.
So sorry.
So yes, I am a baby mama.
I'm not a baby mama.
You're not a baby mama?
Because
Okay.
my ex-husband is out of the picture.
Okay, that makes sense.
He literally doesn't, and let me say this. Maybe he felt like prior to being out of the picture, maybe he felt like I was giving baby mama drama, but there was never any. But I definitely don't have none now because I'm a baby mama. So you're a baby mama. Okay. Do you have drama?
No, I don't have drama. I really don't. And I feel like I don't have drama just really throughout my life. Not just with being a baby mama. You know, I don't welcome it at all. My energy doesn't welcome it. Or God just has my back.
Right.
Because there were times like with me being younger where I had a temper. I could go 0 to 100 real quick. But that's when I was younger. And I've gotten older now and I've gotten wiser and I've just understand how to preserve my energy. So yeah, I don't welcome drama.
Okay.
So in my situation, with my two oldest, when I broke up with their father or we separated, when I left, when we broke up, I didn't even think about what's going to happen when he starts dating again.
Okay.
Like, it crossed my mind, and reality says that that's going to happen, but I never. Some females be like, they predict that their man's going to get with somebody, and they're already like shaping their self in ways and how they're going to act, and he haven't even gotten anybody at that point. So I didn't really give it no thought. Honestly, I really felt like I really gave my man a little bit of respect because if you chose me, I wouldn't imagine you trying to choose anybody lesser than me.
Right. Okay.
All right. So I'm
good.
gonna justify you and give you that credit. So I ain't even gonna go on no high end and think that you gonna pick somebody lesser than me for my kids. So anyway, it was probably about 4 or 5 years down the line where he actually introduced, his new girlfriend to me, and I had known that he was messing with somebody prior to then, because the kids would go over to his house and they'll come home and they'll talk about her.
Okay, so he didn't. I was going to ask a question. He didn't introduce her to you prior to the kids meeting.
Prior.
Okay, cool.
He did not. I just heard things about her, and so and I welcomed it. Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah.
They weren't coming, as long as they were not coming home to me saying that there's this lady over there that daddy's with, and she's being rude or disrespectful to me, or she's talking about you, or they never came home to me and and said anything, and I never was the type of female that also said, oh, your daddy's dating somebody? Well, let me go over there and see what she looked like. Or let me go over there and see what she talking about. Or let me even introduce myself. I didn't even go there, I felt like the time will come whenever it's supposed to come, it'll come.
Right.
So it just was never no drama. So when I finally met her, so the kids would come home because he and I would have some, disputes, without her being involved. And I guess he would go back to her sometimes and maybe might speak to her about our situation. And the kids will come home sometimes and kind of, talk about that situation. And the way they explained it to me was like, no, she was on your side, Mom. You know what I'm saying? So I was gaining respect for her anyway, just by what the kids were telling me. The kids never came back and told me anything negative about anything that she said when it had, to do with me. So you know, when I met her, you know, she was a cool stand-up girl. And she was Aries, you know what I'm saying? So once I found out she was Aries, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, you good. And I'm telling you, it's never been a problem.
She seems really awesome.
Yeah, you know, you've met her before. Yeah, it's just never been a problem. You know, she comes to the kids' events, no matter where it's at. We can travel together. Like we have become somewhat of friends. You know, like we're not like really, really close, taking trips with each other, but we have a good relationship where, you know, she'll hit me up like, okay, what you doing for the kids? Or, you know.
She talks to you independently of your ex-husband? Or independent of your ex-husband? Okay, that's good.
So yeah, for me, I'm not with the baby mama drama. You know, I know there's females out there that like to keep up the commotion. I was never the one to try to use my kids as a pawn if I was mad or at a situation, and tell you know, the baby daddy that he could not see his kids because I was angry with him. I'm the type of female that always wants my kids to have a father. If the father is present, I want them to be around their father. And there might have been some things where, you know, the kids will come home and they might not have been happy with what their father said, or maybe the way because parenting is different. So I might parent different than I was parenting, a little different than he was parenting. So I never changed rules there. I never call him and say, okay, you know, they live here more so than you. So this is the way you're going to have to do it. I let the kids experience their father how they needed to experience their father. You know, I never intruded into their rules because they had way stricter rules than what we had on our end. And honestly, during that time, he on his side, he was more going to church, and bringing them to church. So he was a little bit more stricter, you know, than I was. But
was he like that before meeting his current wife?
I think that he knew church. His family was in church, but there was a period of time where he kind of slowed down, and I think that she came in and kind of picked that situation back up again. From what I remember, it was kind of somewhat similar to your situation. She wanted somebody where they can go, a church man. You know, she wanted somebody. They was going to church faithfully. Yes, they were going to church faithfully.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, again, there was just no drama. There was no drama at all, and that's the only thing to this day. I don't know. So I have the two older, and then I'm in a current situation with the younger two. And so if he and I happen to split, however that go, same thing apply. Like I'm just not the one to now. Don't provoke me. Right?
What's that look like?
What does that look like? Anything having to do with my kids. Like, don't provoke me when it comes to my kids. Don't. Now, we can have a mature conversation. I understand things happen, but when it comes, don't put your hands on my kids. Don't provoke me. You know, and that would, I guess, would be putting your hands on my kids.
Right. So you don't care if like they fuss at him and maybe like. And I'm talking about the girlfriend wife.
Yeah. Well, I think that maybe some things could be addressed if it depends on how you fussing at them. You know, if they did something, then they did something, but you can chastise a child certain ways. You can chastise a child without making them cry, or there's just a certain approach, you know, that you would need to have as the step parent when you're dealing with somebody else's kids. You know, like you're not really their parent, so you need to be a little bit genuine in your approach to try not to offend them. But I would respect if there was, you know, if they were chastising them, or if they got in trouble over there because they're running through the house and you done told them 3 or 4 times not to do it, and you like, didn't I tell you not to? You know, that's fine, but you know, taking it to a whole nother level or putting your hands on my kids, that's, you know, that's when you kind of would get me out of character.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll chime in some more.
Yeah.
I'll chime in some more. Yeah.
Awkward silence. Okay. So I am, y'all know my current husband adopted my children. They were much older. But when they were younger, I don't feel like we had baby mama drama, right? Because I don't know, he wasn't married. I don't know who he was dating, but I remember people used to try to draw me into stuff. Like, let me say this. The women he was dating would sometimes call me and try to draw me into stuff. And I'm just like, he's not cheating on me with you, right? Like, don't call me about this man. I don't care what y'all got going on, you know? And so that happened a couple of times. And I used to call him and be like, I don't know how they got my information, or they would try to contact me on social media. Please get these women under control, because I do not care about any of that. Like, it just, And with his current wife, she was, I don't know, weird. Like, my kids never went over there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she never had to call me. She never had any experience with my children whatsoever, you know? So I didn't have to. I think that she was like, the drama I brought to the extent that you could call it drama, brought my ex-husband prior to the adoption, was pay child support. And so he didn't pay child support. He just wouldn't pay it. And especially when I got with Galen, he was like, he and his mother were like, you are with a dude and y'all are living with him. Why can't he take care of them? So how dare you do that and then try to contest the adoption? You sound mad weird. But I remember she told me because I went to her one day when they were like having a 1 hour lunch or something. I took them up there and she was there, and I was like, let's just be easy. Let's just have a conversation. And because prior to me let me tell you this. Prior to me meeting Galen, because again, I've never introduced my kids to anybody. It's never been an issue. Prior to me meeting Galen, my ex-husband and I had what I thought was a decent relationship, but every woman who's ever contacted me has told me that he's talked so much trash about me and stuff.
Shoot.
But like, let me tell you this, I was riding for him. Yeah. Because I knew him from a child. Yeah. And I know what I did to him in our marriage. I know, so I was just like, yo, he can talk about me. I did not care. And I used to call him and laugh and be like, yo, can you get him under control? He's like, I ain't saying that about you. Yes, you are, but I don't care. Like, I don't want you. So I don't feel hurt by it all. And I know what we've been through together and how we've grown together. So like, I'm super good, but can you just keep her off my phone for real? Like, is that a thing you can do? You know? Yes. But like, this girl, so she was like, when MJ had got sick, was in the hospital for a while, I was having to call her phone because this dude was perpetually broke. But I was having to call her phone to like get him, to like give him information. And she was good. Like, she was texting and passing messages and like, it was good. And I met your brother. And the thing is, I didn't, so, you know, I met your brother at the park. He met the kids, but that was it. Yeah. When I started dating him, they didn't know. I wasn't with that. You know what I'm saying? And so when it got, and there was a period where I was like, and I'm not going to get into it, but where I had called my ex-husband, I was like, I didn't think me and your brother was going to make it. It was early on. So I was like, yo, I don't know if I could be with this dude. And, you know, here's why. And he was like, yo, you want me to talk to him? Because I'll talk to him. Like, he's not a woman you're not a woman he wants to miss out on. So I will talk to him and tell him that. And so I was like, no, we can just be easy, you know, whatever, and see what happens or whatnot. And so that's how he and I were. Like, we were good to... Every year from when we got divorced, he spent the night at my house on Christmas Eve and woke up with the kids Christmas morning. That's what's up. Every Father's Day, he was there for the kids to throw him his little Father's Day party. We spent every Thanksgiving together from divorce, right? So the year I met Galen was the first Thanksgiving we did not spend together. And that was literally not because like Galen wanted to spend Thanksgiving with me. I was like, no, this is a thing I've always done with my kid's father. You know, from separation, divorce, we do that. And he thought it was weird. I'm like, Christmas, he spends the night at the house. He comes over like at midnight. We wrap gifts together. The kids wake up and both of their parents are together. That was a thing that we promised each other we would do, like, because our kids need to see us get along. Yes. And so Thanksgiving came around and so then when I started getting serious, I asked because my ex-husband and I had an agreement that if we met someone, we would talk to each other before introducing them to the kids. Like, that was our thing. And we wouldn't do it if we weren't serious. So they never met any, like let me tell you something. And maybe I'm horrible, but he had other children. Okay. And these women were calling me, I need you to understand, y'all to understand, my kids are awesome. My kids been awesome from little kids. So these women used to call me and be like, oh, well, I want my kids, you know, he's the father too. I want my kids to meet your kids. Get off my phone. Like, that's how I felt. I was like, get off my phone. We're not like some side chick. I was his wife. Yes. Do not call me with that. If he wants them to meet, then maybe we can have a conversation about that.
Okay.
But we're not just joining up and dogging him out because they will say all this stuff about him. Like, I don't hate this dude. Like, I'm good with this dude. So, and if he wants to introduce these, errant little children, he can. But we ain't doing that over here. And so that may be shady. That may be horrible.
Yeah,
but
think about that right there.
But I wasn't doing it.
So it was because the females called you to try to
right, like y'all are mad weird. Yes,
not the fact he could have done it, but it's the fact that they called.
Right.
Okay.
And this was a thing too, and I'm just going to keep it a stack. So he had a baby. The girl. So when I would tell him, he like, yo, they lying. I ain't got no more kids. I'm like, okay, it's cool. Get them under control because I'm not the one or the two. So he has, and then something. I used to have this dude back, dog. I used to have his back. So something happened. He was supposed to take my kids to see his mother for the summer. This is before I had cut it out or whatever. And he calls me crying tears. He was like, yo, this girl is over here with this baby and she won't leave. I was like, I'm on my way. So I went over there. I was like, baby girl, you have to go. Like, he got to take my kids to see their grandma. And I'm about to have my hot girl summer.
Okay.
So you have to leave. This girl was bawling, crying. And she was like, you don't understand. Like, I be over here. Because my kids, at this point, my kids was going there like every other weekend. That's one of the periods where he was getting them when he had somewhere to stay. And so she was like, I be over here. Like, the only time I have to leave is when your kids come. Like, we're a family. We're together. She was crying. And I was just like, well, he called me. You got to go. Like, you absolutely have to leave. And so she was crying. I carried her baby stuff right to her vehicle. And she left. And that was definitely his baby. I was like, she looked just like him. And so then he was just like, first of all, what? Tell him, yeah. What you can see your face.
I'm just wrapping my head around all of it. Like,
so I did that.
This is all happening for real.
I needed my kids to be gone for the summer.
Okay, like, okay.
So I was like, no,
he was on a mission.
You've got to go. And so he wanted her to go.
Yeah.
And so, but she was, because the kids were supposed to go spend the night over there and they were supposed to leave in the morning. He was driving. So she was adamant about my children meeting this baby. And so I was like, yo, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So like you can have what you have over here, but we have decided that's not something we're going to do. And so, and then he tells me, he's like, yo, this is horrible. He is a horrible person. But he was like, I'm just going to pay the child support till she turn 18 and then I'm out. Like, I have 3 children. That's it. Like, I was married to you. Those are my kids. I'm not trying to do this. That's what he was on.
Wow.
That's his life.
Yeah, you weren't checking nothing.
Let me tell you something. That wasn't my baby. That wasn't my man. So I was just on some like, okay, I'm super good. Like, whatever you need to do, get it done. But make sure these 3 kids get to their grandma. You know what I'm saying? So he leaves that night. It's whatever. He was just so thankful. And she was saying, he talked so much trash about you. I can't believe you standing up for him. I was like, do you need help with that bag? Because I'm confused. But this dude was crying because he did not want my kids to meet this baby.
Wow.
And so that was his thing, right? So it was always, they're not going to meet her. And then when he got with this new girl, he was like, I'm thinking about it. And I was like, you have to be consistent in our lives. And then I put my foot down. I said, now this has always been our thing. We have always agreed that you would not introduce. I said, you don't see them enough. And so what I don't want them is to be introduced to this baby. And when you don't come around, now they're like, well, is he with that baby?
Yeah.
And so I said, so you need to just start seeing them more. And I'm good with it.
Yeah.
So he was like, cool, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? So I meet Galen. Now, mind you, we have this thing where I have to ask his permission to introduce the kids. So after we had been dating a couple weeks or whatever, and I think it was like after I knew that was my husband, right? And this was after, like I said, he had told me, like, I'll talk to him, whatever. I was like, I want him to like be able to hang out with the kids. I told him, I was like, they've already met, but the kids don't know I'm dating this guy. Can I meet him? And he was like, I just think it's too soon. You don't really know. I don't know how serious you are about this dude. And so like, I never talked to him about a man. Not ever. Yeah. So if I came to you about a dude, it was serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he never had no issue, whatever. So he was like, he was like, I don't know. You're not sure about this dude. You just told me you wasn't sure about this dude if it was going to work out. I think it's too soon, whatever. So I was like, I'm cool with that. Like, that was our agreement. They won't meet him. So I be having stories for days.
And I love them.
Have nothing to
Everybody
do with
loves them.
Nothing.
Everybody loves them.
So,
for real.
I'm like, oh my God, we're talking about baby mama. So one day he had taken Chris to basketball practice. And so when he would take Chris to basketball practice, that's when I would go see G. Because obviously I didn't really have no weekends.
Yeah.
So, girl, one time, oh my God, I'll never forget this. And this is where it broke. One time I took him to basketball practice and I wasn't answering the phone because I was with my boyfriend. And he knew how to get home. They had a key. Like there was not an issue. You know what I'm saying?
To worry.
So I get out. So finally I answer the phone. I was like, yo, what is going on? And he was just very calm. And let's say this. I think I scared Galen because my ex-husband was very calm. He was like, I told the kids. I was like, told them what? He was like, about my daughter. And I lost it. Because I know my children.
Yeah.
And I know what they were going to be thinking. And so I cussed him out. I was losing my brain. And so G had never seen me like that. He was like, are you good? I was like, I'm not good. So I have to drive and like 45 minutes from where he lived back to where I lived. And I went home. And when I came home, the kids were his. So he meets me outside because he was in my house because that was the thing we did. He meets me outside. He was like, yo, they good. You know, and I call him. Let me tell you something. I call him everything but a child of God.
Oh, there.
So when I come in, my kids are hysterical.
Oh, really?
They were hysterical. And the first thing they say is that where he's been? Damn. And when I called him, I'm like, you told me they were okay. And he was like, well, you created that. And I had not said anything to them. You created that. They were fine. They were fine. And it's crazy because years later, we were talking about it. And I was like, well, you know, your dad said y'all were fine at the time. MJ was like, Mom, I started hitting him. Oh. He was like, we were never fine. Jay, calm Jay. He was like, I started punching Dad when he said that. And this brother got me thinking that, which I know I had not said anything. I just came in the house and they were bawling. And he was like, it wasn't until you came with your, you know, what you're doing or whatever. And so there was like, nah, like, and that was the question, is that where he's been? And so I just was like, and now I got to clean this because you outside. You're leaving and you're leaving me to clean this up. So then he tells me because he's with this new girl and she's having a baby. So that's why he told him. You know what I'm saying? So he decides, so he's not paying child support because he got kids all over the world. So he meets them one day at a restaurant or whatever. And I go talk to the girl. Because at this point, I'm calling him like, yo, where is the child support? Like, you are mad weird out here not paying child support. And he was just like, you know, you got a man, let him pay it. Oh, because I want you to know that weekend I introduced the kids to Galen. Okay. Like after he told about the baby, I was just like, okay, we don't honor each other anymore. Rules. You know, and maybe that sounds weird that me and my ex-husband had this agreement and we were I thought we were working together. Yeah. According to all these women, he never liked me. Wow. But he was not doing that with me. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I also, because like I had his back for real. So I take the kids to this lunch, and this girl is like, I was like, I want to just come talk to you, you know, whatever. I feel like I'm a horrible person. So
given the cards that you was dealt, the hand that you was dealt.
Like, I'm not a horrible person, but I'm done.
No, just play.
So I go to the car and I was like, yo, I just want to talk to you. Because let me also be clear. I needed a break. So I was like, yo, they about to start going with their daddy because Galen, he only has his girls every other weekend. On their off weekend, then he can have them, and then I can have some time with my now husband. So I was like, let's squash this. I don't care. I don't need his child support. I'm super good. And she says something to me. I can't remember what, but it was disrespectful. But honestly, it wasn't all that. But I felt disrespected. But I responded and said, because I required a response. I was like, because I just find it weird that you would stay with a man who wouldn't pay child support. I don't understand how you're having a baby with a man who doesn't pay child support. That's not an okay thing to say to someone. But it's real. Yeah. Like, I'm not out here procreating with someone who already has, because this was another lady, not the baby that I sent away. So now he already has at least 4 children, and that's not the only woman who contacted me talking about they had a baby by him. He already has at least 4 children. I know he's not paying child support for these 3, and you got a baby by him? Like, you're married to this loser? And she told me, my family gonna always get taken care of first. Like, I don't care about, they're the ones who live in this house. They're going to always get taken care of first. I'll fight everybody. And so then it was just the weirdest situation. And then her baby started crying and she said it was because I had bad energy. She was like, and we're talking like a 6-month-old baby. She was like, she can feel people's energy. She never cries. It's because of your energy and I will fight you. It's probably because she's hungry because y'all are poor. But I was so mad. I was so mad. And then my baby's came, I left or whatever. And he came because we got into it. And he came and he apologized. He was like, yo, it's all good. Like, she's just weird. Like, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a thing or two. You cannot call your wife. If I found out Galen was around here calling me out of my name, I would be so mad. But like, that's how he was. Like, yo, she just weird. It's all good. Like, you're fine. And because I was explaining to him, like, yo, I said this, she said this or whatever. And he was like, no, you good or whatever. But after that, it became like, he saw them less, whatever. But that is all of that 30-minute conversation today. That is the extent of like the baby mama drama. And I remember they came to one of MJ's musicals and they looked homeless and I was really upset. Like, for real. Like, it was like the girl rolled out of bed and she ain't no bad looking woman.
Did y'all sit by each other or they just came to sit?
No, because he got so mad. They had another baby. Like, this brother is procreating. And you push the stroller because... First of all, I blacked out when I saw them. I literally blacked out. It was our family, our whole immediate family, and then Dana's mama, Wanda. And so it was us and Wanda. So he walks up and they look homeless. Like, his coat had a hole in it. And this woman looked like she rolled out of bed, like she didn't brush her hair down or anything. It was just out. Not like, oh, natural hair. It was just like weird. So I was standing there with my like well-groomed family and it wasn't even about money. It was just like, we were really well-groomed and I'm just kind of standing there and he starts talking and I could not hear what he was saying because I was appalled that he was there, right? So then finally I was like, okay, well, these are my children. And he was like, I already introduced them. Why are you being like that? Because I couldn't hear what he was saying. Like, I literally blacked out. So then he got pissed off that I was trying to introduce the kids, I guess, again. And he took the stroller. And then the baby had like a whooping cough. So she was like,
oh, God.
I'm remembering this. She was coughing so hard in that theater.
Dang.
And so I was like, why would you bring your baby? Because it was cold. Why would you bring your baby out like this? You know what I'm saying?
And really so bad off.
It was weird. That was the last time I saw them.
And your stories be so hilarious.
It's
not
horrible.
All of them, but they be so good and juicy.
But I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them since. And I mean, I've seen him because he pops up at like graduations and birthdays and things like that. But he hasn't. And the kids, I've asked the kids if they want to meet. They're big kids now, so I've asked them if they want to meet the other siblings or whatever. And it's just been no, we were adopted. Like, that doesn't exist. And so, and that's it. But as far as, you got something you about to say?
Well, you can go if you want to. That's our stories, right? That's our stories. But there's a lot of stories out here with baby mama dramas, though, for real. And this question wouldn't apply to you because I know that you met Galen. He had kids already, and
two baby mamas.
Two baby mamas, and you, as an individual, you were actually willing to step in and be that stepmom.
Yep.
And take care of the kids, just like they were your own. Yep. Like, you was willing to do that. Yep. And some people are still is doing. Yes, that is you. And so there's a lot of relationships where that happens. But when that person, the male, that's with the female, that has the kids, and they split, the male has already had a kid by the baby, the mom, and the mom has already had some additional kids.
Okay.
And that don't work out, and they split. There's been a lot of controversy around this.
This girl wants to bring social media to our very elegant
but
podcast.
It's so real, because I'm trying to figure out what I would expect for my man to do. If I had 3 kids and I had brought him into my life and had another kid by him and we broke up, what I expect for that man to
The next man
still help the same man still help provide for me and my other kids,
the kids
in addition to his kids. Yes.
Yeah, I don't have that expectation. Let me tell you something. I'm just not out here around here having babies by all these people. I got my y'all know I got my tubes tied at 25, so I don't have that problem.
But it's definitely it's definitely a thing.
And I think it's individual, right? And so I'm not in a position. I would never be in a position where I needed someone. When I was in that position, I had 3 kids by one man. And I was getting married to another one. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want to sound like Trump, but I really don't want to sound like anything. I do feel like you don't get to make all these babies and have these, and I know that you didn't make these babies alone, but you got to hold their dads accountable. Right? Like that's me. Accountable. If you have 3 babies by 3 different men, then each of those men needs to be held accountable. Okay. If he's not coming and showing up and paying, let's say he's just not paying child support, there are mechanisms in place to make him pay child support, like jail. So like you can go file and put him on child support, so you don't have to worry. You got, MJ, Chris, KD, MJ daddy don't have to take care of Chris because guess what? His mama got Chris daddy on child support. So if you don't never see him, I'm getting that money every month and you're going to sit in jail because I'm going to make sure of it. And that's what y'all be on. So I think that instead of doing what's necessary to take care of your children, you want to put it off on the next man because you don't want to do the legwork to whatever, or you have some sort of sympathy toward Chris's dad, so you're giving him off the hook. But now MJ dad has a child that's not his own that he don't even care to have. Right? I think that's on the women. I don't think
that it's another man's responsibility to have to take care of somebody else's
if
child.
They do, it's awesome.
If they do, that's awesome.
It's not your responsibility.
But it's not their responsibility.
And that's what I'm saying. My ex-husband trying to tell me before I married Galen, but ain't you with a man that you sound weird.
Definitely so.
This man got his own kids. I mean, definitely, and he did because he wanted to. So. But that was not his responsibility.
Yeah, these are your biological kids. How dare you throw your kids off on another man?
People are mad weird. Right? Like, where's your pride even?
Where is
Can you imagine? Let me tell you something.
As a man, how could that even come out your mouth?
I'm a woman. If I send Kennedy over to her stepmama house and she come back flyer than what I sent her, she won't come back that fly again because, baby, now I got to step my game. That's just,
That's you.
You know I'm competitive.
Yeah, okay,
but that's my thing, though. Like, I'm taking care of my children. And it's great. And let me say this. Like, I do for my step baby, my bonus babies. Like, I do for them like I do for MJ, Chris, and Katie.
Yes, absolutely.
And I also know their moms think I'm crazy. In the best way possible, not like, whatever, but like, you bought $700 earrings, you sound crazy, but if she gonna get them, she gonna get them from you. Yeah. I'm not talking about that type of thing. I am talking about, I sent you with your hair not combed, and you come back and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, just a very basic whatever. Nobody's gonna take better care of my child than me. That's my pride. You're not coming back better than what, and that's great, good for you being willing to, but you don't come back better than I sent you.
Lord Jesus, I don't see that as being competitive though. Sometimes some females may have kids and they just might not be financially able or stable to get their hair done or take care of them. So I think that it's a blessing that if a child has a bonus, parent that is able to step in and kind of help her with, getting her hair done or buying clothes when she needs
braids are free.
Clothes. But still, so I don't think that I wouldn't personally be like, oh, I'm gonna have to step my game up.
If you have the ability to,
this woman's doing better than me.
And here's the thing. I'm not telling you to go broke trying to be like, I don't want to step my. Yeah, I am saying, to me, it's a reflection of me. It is a reflection of, I sent my child in possibly dirty clothes. Because this is the thing, right? I sent my child in dirty clothes. I sent my child hair not cut, hair not combed. And I'm not talking about poverty. Yeah, I am talking about lazy parenting, right? So for all people who cannot, for real, braids are free. Like, it costs nothing to braid. And you got to be good at it. You got to braid it all the way down. If you don't have any supplies, braids are still free.
If you're doing it yourself?
Yeah.
If you're braiding your child's hair?
Yeah, that's free. Yeah. And I'm only speaking to hair not done. Your child should, I personally don't believe little black girls should walk out the house hair not done. Like, that's let me tell you something. Let me tell you the mom I am. I'm going to tell you a thing or two. Have you ever met Kennedy?
I think about Beyonce and what they said. I'm sorry. When they was talking about
blue,
she never did her hair.
I don't know that her hair wasn't done. It just wasn't done the way people wanted it done. I'm talking about people who, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Kennedy was in kindergarten. You ever met Kennedy?
She's funny.
She one of the greatest people you know, right?
Absolutely.
So sweet.
Yes, absolutely.
Will not hurt anybody.
Not at all.
Very, very kind. Just wants to save the world.
Yep.
She was in kindergarten. We were inviting kids to her birthday party. So she used to have these elaborate birthday parties. We rent out penthouse suites. We do all kinds of things. She's having a birthday party and she loves this little girl. Or not loves, but she was her friend. And I was like, why are you not inviting her? She was like, her hair is never done. Ooh. My child was 5.
No.
And I was like,
she was able to recognize that.
She says, oh, her hair is always frizzy.
Oh, not frizzy. Oh,
5 years old, turning 6. That girl did not get an invite to the party. I was really upset.
And Kennedy is very innocent. Like that doesn't even sound like Kennedy, honestly.
And Kennedy was wearing blowouts when she was 7. Like I was taking her hair blown out because I'm psychotic. And there was another little girl in her cheerleading squad. I tried to break Kennedy's hand. I don't believe in corporal punishment, but I really tried to break her fingers this day. The little girl used to wear her hair in pigtails. Kennedy thought, like, she might have been 6. She was just kind of like, no, like, my hair is bouncing. You know what I mean? Like, that's how she was wearing her hair. So I had talked to the mom. They were in there practicing. I talked to them. I was like, oh, my God, Kennedy's having this great birthday party. You know, you should bring your baby. Mm-hmm. So Kennedy comes out, and I was like, Kennedy, so-and-so is coming to your party. She started crying.
She told you she wanted her to
She started crying right there in front of the little girl. She was like, no. I squeezed her hand so hard. I remember this. I tried to break her fingers. I was so embarrassed. She was like, no. And when we got out there, I said, don't you ever. Do not ever. And I had like explained to her, embarrassment or whatever. But she was very much like, you sound crazy. And then 2 years later, when her mom sent me a picture of her for whatever reason, I was like, oh, look at so-and-so. She was like, oh, she can come to my party. I love her hair. It was blown out. And now Kennedy wears her hair natural.
She does.
It's so different. She's a great kid. I feel like I'm talking trash about my baby.
No, not at all.
My kids are
5. That's how you was raising her.
Always. But I wasn't raising her to be a little butthole. I was raising, like, what is wrong with you? But anyway, so yeah, I'm not, like, I'm talking about people who have the means and who are just lazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And just like, okay, cool. Like, it's going to, if you come back clean and proper, I might feel away. Like, I should have done that. Like, why would I send my baby over there and now you got to come back with your hair parted and greased down? Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. And I have good baby mamas. Galen has baby mamas. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I have good baby mamas on her day. And I have my youngest baby that I really get to be a mom to. Her mom is fantastic. Like, she welcomes me being a mom. Like, even down to talking to her. It's not even like, oh, I want the stuff. Because I get her the stuff. We go on the trips. And like, I go on trips with my bonus baby alone. Like, she and I will go out of the country together and just hang out. And let me tell you something. Dallas is the best travel partner, baby.
Oh, my God.
Let me tell you a thing or two.
Dallas mess
is fantastic. Because let me tell you, if we had a rough day, like not a rough day, like a busy day, we've been working, the next day she's like, can we sleep in? Ooh, we can, boo. She is not a 14-year-old who's like, oh, I know I'm out of the country. I need to be on the go. She's like, no, I'm super good. Can we just order room service and maybe leave at 2:00? We can, baby.
I love that.
We absolutely can. She is.
I love that.
And she's like not, she doesn't take advantage. So you can have whatever you want. You know how I am. I'm the worst. So we'll be out and we'll be shopping and I'll have arms full of stuff. And I'm like, what you want? And she's like, these pair of earrings. Now they might be some $500 earrings, but that's going to be it. She's not going to ask for anything else. I can show her 700 things. And she's like, no, can you just get these and can we just head out? But her mom gives, and then when Dallas is in trouble, I can talk to Dallas when Dallas is having a rough day. Like, when I pick Dallas up, it's cheddar for an hour drive because she's filling me in on her life. Yeah. And her mom gives her space to love me. Right? She doesn't feel like threatened by it. She doesn't. But I also learned a lesson. I don't try to replace her mom because she got an amazing mom. So she just has 2 amazing moms. It's not like I'm better than your mom, right? Yeah. And so it's a good, like, even her birthday party, mom let me throw her birthday party. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love that.
And I say, like, we share her, but I have amazing women that Galen,
having to deal with any of the baby mama drama.
Ain't no drama.
That's good, because there's definitely some drama out in this world. There's really, like, I guess, because you brought up men. I don't even know why you bring. We talking about baby mama drama. You want to bring baby daddy drama. Like,
I just described to you my baby daddy drama.
Yeah, that was definitely your baby daddy.
This guy is so dramatic. He takes the cake, wins the award.
You sure did.
Like,
I can't even say nothing about that situation.
like, this guy's a
all.
loser.
I can't. I cannot.
You
But
have-
yeah, sometimes, men, they're a little salty. And sometimes they don't like the splits. And they act up a little bit.
We were broken up for so long. You had so many different babies in between the time. Just let me have some peace. That's all I'm asking. And you don't have no baby daddy at all. No drama. So good for you.
I can't really explain.
I'm glad for that.
I
God
can't
bless
explain
you.
how that really, really, really looks. Yeah, mine wasn't as
Are
as
you going to
bad.
have more kids?
How dare you ask me that? Why would you ask me that?
Because I can't have any more kids.
You know I'm not
can be
having no more
curious.
kids after
Okay.
4. And I know we done talked about this.
I don't think we have.
That's like a violation. That's
Is
like,
it?
yeah, that's
Do we need to cut this
that
out?
provokes me.
Do we need to cut this out? Because I was being serious.
I know you were. And that provokes me. Like, I ain't having no more kids.
Okay.
After the last story that I even told about Jaleel, God told me Jaleel was my last one.
Okay,
anyway.
that's right. I forgot. I did forget. Okay, no more kids for
No more
anybody on
kids,
this
yeah.
podcast.
Mm-mm.
We're
So I
really,
don't
really
think that,
sorry.
I don't think that I would ever experience the
Baby daddy drama.
Oh yeah, hopefully
Okay.
not. I'm not even the type of female that condones it. So.
Right.
I keep touching my mic.
If you, I have so many questions. I shouldn't have talked so much.
Well,
It's just for you.
natural.
But they're
It's natural.
also
It's fine.
probably like not appropriate.
Well, it's fine. I mean, we'll see.
No, I'm gonna ask you off of this because I don't feel like them having to cut a whole bunch of crap out. But I do want to know. All right, thank y'all for joining us.
It's funny. Okay.
We love y'all.
Thank you guys.
See y'all later.
Peace.